Today we have a look at the new design of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 along with its new specs and features. Now let me know in the comments who out there is excited for the Z Fold 6, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech. So first story of the day, before we get into the reveal, we've got great news for current and future Fold owners. Both the Fold 5 and the Flip 5 are going to be going into the Samsung self-repair program, and this means that the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 is likely to do the same. Now this not only means that those that do want to have a go at repairing themselves can, but for those that don't want to repair, it means that mobile repair shops should find it a lot easier to obtain official parts. Now next up, we've got news of a new OLED display, which is going to be used in the new Folds, and this is a phosphorescent OLED display. Now to put this into simple terms, when it comes to the current OLEDs, the blue subpixel has always been the weak link using fluorescent materials, while the green and the red are using phosphorescent, but the new display is going to be a complete phosphorescent display, which means it's going to have much greater levels of brightness. Now the report states that Samsung is encountering issues with it at the moment, so we're unsure if it's going to be ready for the Fold 6 or it could potentially be the Fold 7. Next up, we've got news of new AI features coming to the Galaxy Fold 6 thanks to the power of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And while we had disappointing news that the Fold 6 was going to continue to use the same camera system as before, it is going to produce much better quality of photo and video thanks to the new AI. Now we've got a tweet from Ice Universe, and he says that there are huge improvements to the One UI night mode, and he says that the new night mode is going to use AI, and it can identify 12 different objects and optimize them individually for better overall image quality. Now we've also got a tweet from Bennett Bunner, and he confirms even more AI features to the new One UI, and they are pretty impressive. For a start, we're now going to be able to remove a subject from a video, so it's essentially using the magic eraser but for videos instead of photos. Then we've also got AI processing for videos that's going to improve the low light performance, reduce grain, improve stability, and just generally deliver an overall better video. Now when it comes to photos, you're going to be able to fully expand the border and then use generative AI to fill in the gaps. And you're also going to be able to move a subject from one photo into a completely different one. There's going to be lots more AI features around photo and video as well, and we also get an on-device AI chatbot, and this is going to be able to do simple tasks and answer simple questions on the device itself without the need for any connectivity. Now Ross Young previously told us that when it comes to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, we're not only going to be getting a wider aspect ratio on the cover display, but we're also getting a bigger display on both the cover and the internal display. Now Ice Universe has tweeted a prototype design of the Galaxy Z Fold 6, and to me, this looks like the perfect fold. Of course, this is just a prototype, but we've had many reports stating that Samsung is going to be changing the form factor of the Z Fold 6, so it's looking very likely that the design is at least going to be something very similar to this. Now the Elect told us that Samsung were taking inspiration from the Mate X5 for the new form factor changes, so I would say we can expect something that looks very similar to this, but probably slightly thinner. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 is looking like a great update to the series, with plenty of hardware and software upgrades on top of a new form factor that many of us have been waiting for years. Now for those excited for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. For my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you're new here, then hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, we get a 7.6-inch foldable 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. While it's the same size as its predecessor, we're expecting improvements in brightness, color accuracy, as well as durability. It's coming with a resolution of 1812 by 2176 and is going to be protected by Samsung's newest ultra-thin glass. Now there's also going to be less visible creasing in the center of the new foldable display, as well as water and dust resistance. For the external display, we get a 120Hz dynamic AMOLED protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. It's going to be a 6.2-inch display, and while the current resolution is unknown at the moment, Samsung are reportedly working on a much wider aspect ratio, and we're also going to see improvements to the brightness and color accuracy, and it will of course have a punch-hole camera in the top center. Now the selfie cameras are going to be a 10-megapixel wide-angle camera on the cover display, followed by a 4-megapixel under-display camera on the internal display. Then over on the rear, it's a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and then a 10-megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom. Now, it's actually the same camera system used in the predecessor, but hopefully we will still see some improvements thanks to the software. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 globally, and we get 12GB of RAM with up to 1TB of storage, and this will of course be UFS 4.1. It's coming with a 4400 mAh battery, and while fast charging is still currently unknown, we're hoping for improvements to both wired as well as wireless charging. In terms of connectivity, we get advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3 and Wi-Fi 7, and then we also get ultra-wideband support, and it's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from $1,850 in August 2024. So the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 is looking like an incredible new folding phone from Samsung, and for a device that's kept the same design for some time now, it's great that we're finally getting some changes in all areas. Now, a bigger cover display with a wider aspect ratio is going to make the phone a lot more usable for those times that we want to do something quickly and you don't want to unfold into the larger display. And the brighter display, along with the new AI features powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, means general usability is going to be greatly improved. The fact that they're also thinning down the phone on top of all this is just a bonus, and to be honest, the Z Fold 5 already looked like a very premium device, so I'm very excited for the Z Fold 6. Now, because of the similarities to its predecessor, I can't see anyone with the Fold 5 rushing for an upgrade, but for those with an older Fold or looking to try out their first Fold, then the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is going to be a great place to start. Now, we've still got some time until the official launch, so it's likely we're going to get more and more leaks coming in, and of course I'll be sharing them as soon as they do, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.